fireball at you.
Yes. That hurts him still all the same. But if you cast a healing spell on him...
Excuse me.
Zadok, on the fast healing 15, that's 15 every round, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But your maximum HP has been lowered as well.
Yep, I did that. I didn't know how I was going to do that, so I just put a negative 60 modifier on there, and
what?
it worked. On my health.
Gotcha.
When you pull up that and you can do like the item, I did on the item, I just put negative 60.
You still probably have more health than me. There's actually no probably about this. You still have more health than me.
How much experience do we get?
I told you all at the end of last session, go ahead and level up.
Did you?
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I don't recall this.
I don't recall this.
That's because I'm just saying it right now. I'm trying to make myself look better.
Well, too bad it's on stream now.
Oh, well.
He's really trying to do is shift the blame to us for not having leveled up our characters for games. I know how you fucking work, Derek.
Uh-huh.
So, gold line.
Yes. Is everybody here? Everybody good?
Everybody good.
Are you sure? All right. So where did we did we do the recap already?
We say yes. Are you going to check it?
Probably not, but like what you just said, I don't believe you did.
Yeah, but it won't matter if you don't plan on checking.
No, this campaign I have not checked. Our next campaign, our next long-running campaign, I will be, like I said, doing the recaps and going about this in a more professional manner. Yes, but this campaign is the last of the era of this style of my DMing.
Oh, I see it.
You will. Sam's still making a couple snacks. She's on her way back here in a minute. But if somebody wants to start the recap, go for it.
So we're all level 13 now, huh?
Sure.
Well, where did we start off last session? Just discussing stuff? It was after the one thing released, and we were just discussing stuff after a shit ton of shit got destroyed, including the Crimson Emperor, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did the resurrection of people, and then we went treasure hunting first.
Yeah, we did some discussion trying to figure out what we were going to do if, we were going to find a way to hunt the Black Messiah a little bit better, which we found some information, sent it to Gideon and Gavin's father and grandfather to help find the Dark Messiah in the desert over there. G18F17 over that area.
Yeah.
And then we had discussions, decided to rest for a while, or rest for the night to yeah, whatever. And we decided to head off and get items before they were taken by um, the
Well,
northern.
first, you guys were dealing with refugees,
Yeah.
Oh, right, I forgot about the refugees.
and I brought back the cat, greater spirit, or the greater cat deity.
Oh yeah.
Progenitor,
yeah.
that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So suddenly we had an influx of refugees coming into the main city that is now currently, I think, one of the only cities really left on the island. That's not partially destroyed. We were making sure that they were free of any wrongdoing or any malice content or intent. I believe Gavin found someone who was plagued, but then was able to cure them.
Yeah.
And then we kept finding out just to see if any more were. We did that while Solon decided to go resurrect the cat spirit, the greater cat spirit. Which after that, we decided to go find treasure before the Northmen did. What was the first thing we looked at?
The Sky Vault.
Was it the Skyvault? I wasn't sure if
Was
it was the Skyvault or something else.
That was the
I
first
mean, the
one.
two, the major ones would have been the vault and then the blood, the pool of blood.
Got
No.
Map of the Stars, Frost Grater, Belt of John Stank, Instant Door Knocker, Key to the Sky Vault, Ion Stone, Orange Prism, Elixir of Life, Major, Greater Shock Rune. Oh, and then the Ancient Stone Guardian. And then the Staff of Healing and the Diadem of Intellect. Yay for lists.
A list are a good thing.
Chucky ends up. They ended up going to. Isn't it T 24 or something like that? 25. And finding a vault or had the map of the stars in it. And this vault only apparently Chucky could open without everyone else just. Yeah, Gavin took a lot of damage.
To be fair, Solon was going to take a lot of damage.
True, I forgot about that.
And the good buddy Gavin decided to eat it for him.
I know how small his health pool is.
It would have killed me outright. The amount of
Anyway.
damage would have killed me outright. It doubled my health pool.
You mean someone would have died without it being a death effect?
Yes.
I think everyone here that's died has been dead from a death effect.
Well, no,
Anyways,
multiple people have died, but then just true died because the various entities had true death on their weapons or part of their natural abilities.
anyways, we found out that this area is part of, apparently part of Chucky's new powers that he's still trying to figure out what the hell they are. It's he gets himself a vault that now he can teleport to and store stuff in, including a map that leads to a bunch of locations, including the Court of Stars. he's still trying to figure that out. After that, we went running around finding items. And what was the other main thing? It was that the golem. It was
The Ancient Guardian.
Where did you send that? Or is that to protect your kids?
No, the Ancient Guardian woke up and he's going to awaken his compatriots to resume the protection of the island. So essentially, they're protecting the island, but they're considered under our command. So he's going to wake up the rest of them.
And after that, it was the pool of blood where a bunch of people started dipping things without any care for the world, apparently. Chucky abstained from this. I want to know. Oh, no. Chucky did not do any of this.
It turned out good for most of us.
I felt targeted.
I feel targeted.
Pretty sure Eve said the same thing when she doomed the rest of the humanity.
What?
As in Adam and Eve.
Oh. I was thinking Eve, the character in the campaign.
Nope, I'm making a religious reference. That's just how I roll.
Well, I think a couple of us know what happened, but some of us don't. Of what the one dip of Gavin's dip, where he becomes what he serves.
So yes, after he does that, there is an aura of fear around him. The temperature drops noticeably. His hair goes solid white. Blue eyes that radiate a cold, and his skin is deathly pale. You also notice he no longer breathes.
So that happened. Can't remember what was all dipped, but I know there was a piece of tackle that was dipped. Fishing tackle. Which caused a very loud bang off in the distance. Wasn't there something else too that it was dipped that caused something bad?
Solon dipped a coin and doubled his wealth in every aspect. It was 100 times 100 times all his material wealth.
Oddly weird that you're the one that rolled that.
And the fact that I used a coin.
With
Again, last night some really good D&D rolls came about.
And one incredibly funny, really bad one.
This is where we're at. We're basically sitting here after a bunch of dipping things.
Yes, that's where we pretty much pick up. You just heard the snapping of one of the chains, and off in the distance you can see a pillar of light shoot up to the sky, and it weakens the perpetual storm that has surrounded the Eye of Oblivion. You hear, the sounds of the massive chains breaking and falling into the water, cascading large waves. And then your companion, Gavin, who now visually looks much different than he did. Oh, and Araxis has a small little imp. Yeah, she did the writing pool or tool and got an imp with it.
Yep.
Someone's really tempted to try more coins, not because he wants something good to happen or wants more good things, but just in an off attempt that maybe he could get one seal back.
So, statistically, if you throw a hold it 100 coins in, a seal will come back. Now, 99 seals may be broken, but you'll get one back.
Okay. I'm sorry, that's not how statistics work, but I congratulate you for trying.
When you throw statistics at D&D, statistics never work.
That's true.
That's very true. Tabletop games in general. You know, going back to an old Chronicles of Darkness game we did, one of the few times Dan did get to play a mage, he had a paradox roll, and he only had one dice he had to roll, and ended up rolling 4 10s in a row. Taking 4 bashing damage, he elected to take instead of, doing that high of a paradox roll for something horrible to happen.
Well, point of reference for anybody who's now listening or may listen in the future, that kind of roll would be like you summon Satan to the mortal realm. That's literally what it said when you get a paradox roll that bad.
And
you summon Satan. And I'm like, I take the damage, I take the damage, I take the damage.
And he only had 1 die to roll for it. And that happened. So yeah, it's statistics and tabletop games, they just don't go hand to hand. But yeah, so what do y'all do?
Oh, maybe we shouldn't constantly start dipping stuff into the blood.
I'm not sold.
I'm not sold.
To be fair, it's not like it's going to be much worse than the Uncle I currently released, but still. I still don't know how that works. Because literally I'm told that I'm the only one that can unlock these seals, so I don't know if the seal's still in place, but the chain is broken. Like, for instance, if you okay, Derek, this is my question. Because we can actually see these chains going up in the air, they're so massive. My question is this like an instance of where a link in the chain is broken, but the lock itself is still locked?
No, chain completely shattered. The one thing that is different than the other one, though, the monolith did not crumble.
So the monolith is still there.
Yes.
So that's kind of what I'm asking. So the monolith is the lock, and then the chain is the connecting, is what actually seals him. So the lock is still there and locked. It's just the chain that was restricting or restrictive has been destroyed.
Theoretically, yes. You haven't been over there, and you haven't seen the repercussions of that yet, so you can theorize.
Okay, but if the monolith is still there, at least it gives me some hope.
Yeah.
Hope we don't get that around here.
Yeah. Don't worry, I pat Quindlin on the back, or Araxis on the back, and I say, I'm sure eventually one of the rest of us will screw up this badly.
You should see her face.
Really, Solon? You had to phrase it like that?
I mean, it doesn't stop me from wanting to dip more stuff in there.
Keep phrasing it like that.
I step out of the way just in case she intends to push me in. In all honesty, I'm probably the only one that would survive that. Because I got a part of this blood already flowing through me. But regardless, what do we do now?
Stop dipping things.
Probably no more dipping.
You say that.
Do you want...
And I feel like, you mean it now.
So what you're saying is one more dip.
But I also feel like the next opportunity that comes along, you all are going to dip in something anyways. I'll probably start it, but that is not the point I'm trying to get across here. I'm trying to point fingers at other people in order to distract away from my own failings.
Well,
what hex are you all currently in?
It is... R22. I'll go ahead and move the...
I know. Sorry. One thing too is you all are discussing this. The sounds of a water vessel is heard, and as you look around, you see a large skiff. On the front of it, there is what appears to be a male humanoid skeleton. The sides of it are filled with skulls and other bones, from rib cages to spines, all with various patterns that mean something, but you're not quite sure. There's
I know
one
what it
massive
means.
oar, and as it goes through the water, it stops next to you, Gavin, on its own accord.
Can I read it, Derek?
It's not script or anything like that. The patterns themselves, it's a pattern of
So
how
it's close to hieroglyphics than it
Kind
is
of.
an actual...
language, yeah.
is anything coming up with either of my new sites?
This is something that Gavin and Solon would know about. Because our fathers got interacted with this individual multiple times, and it was only because Drake knew to pay him 2 coins that his ass was saved on multiple occasions. That feels like information that would be passed down to us, I would think.
Fair. This is akin to the ferryman's skiff. If it is the exact one, you do not know. But it is very much akin to it. And when you use detect magic, it's definitely magical in nature, but it isn't a school or schools of magic you detect, but the very essence of death itself.
Is it empty?
Yeah. There is 6 rows of seats or bench seats. There is one massive oar. And again, it's a giant skiff, if you will. Kind of depicted in Greek mythology, Norse mythology, um, where it's not some kind of small little thing. It's a decent size. It's not sailing ship size or anything like that, but it can house 6 people on each bench seat. There's 6 of them.
Huh. I shrug to Solon and I say, "Hey, give me a minute." And I step aboard.
Remember to pay him.
As you step on board, it's a weird sensation, as if this is an extension of you.
I look at Solon and I say, "Correction, pay me."
No.
Huh.
I've literally so much gold, I don't know what to do with it. No.
But as you do step on it and you go, you walk around and you go to where the oar is, immediately you know that you are the only one who command the oar, other than your boss.
Yeah.
For any living soul or those that the skiff is not bound to, that would grab a hold of it, would know death instantly.
So
you also see the when you grab a hold of it, you see the various currents, not just the actual natural currents of the water, but the currents of the river Styx.
okay, so I could with the skiff I could probably pass between the mortal world and the place where the river Styx is.
Well, the river Styx traverses
Traverses.
all realms and
Yeah.
ends in the mouth of Karan's lair,
Yeah.
in the heart of Abaddon, the sunken city.
So given that, do I feel like with the skiff I could follow the river Styx, which means I could follow it through the realms it crosses through?
Theoretically, yes. You don't know how that innately interacts with the protections of this island, because only a handful of people can actually leave this island.
Yeah. Do I get any other feeling of instant death they shouldn't touch other than the ore?
Stowaways with no death, but those that either pay their way or granted special privilege to board the skiff. A tribute must be paid of some sort. Coin is what was established, but you get the feeling that is not necessarily what you have to accept.
Okay.
I apologize for interrupting. I just have a quick question for you, Derek.
Yo.
So for items that would have charges, if charges aren't listed or number of charges aren't listed in the item section itself, how many charges does a item normally have?
Like what?
Like the true staff of healing we picked up.
God, staves are weird.
Telling
So look it up
me.
in the book. Got it.
Yeah, look in the book. It states in the staff section, the magical. You get a number of charges equal to the highest spell it can cast, I believe. So if it can cast a 9th level spell, it has 9 charges. Takes a charge for whatever level the spell is. Also, important note, because that is a resource, that is also increased.
I'm pretty sure it got picked up after. Because there were 2 items that got picked up after. Yeah, it got picked up after that.
Gotcha.
I wish it hadn't, because it would have had 10 diadems of intellect and 10 stabs of true healing. But we do have 10 iron stones of orange. So I make sure all of our casters have one of those.
Nice.
Looks like those.
So, knowing now what I know about the skiff, I explained to the others that there are 2 people that can command the skiff, me and Chiron. We could
So if you
definitely
have it
use
here,
this
where's
for
he?
travel here. There's also, theoretically, I could use this to travel the River of Styx to its completion.
Give me a just raw, either you can give me an intelligence, religion, or occult roll.
Speaking out loud, I say, does this mean you just knocked Chiron into the river of Styx to bring his boat to you?
What did you get?
21 religion.
So, you learn one of the neat exploration properties of this skiff. While you're on this skiff, and this was something that could have been gotten outside of your random thing, but I thought it was fitting, so giving you one of the magical items that could have been found later on, or acquired later on, I should say. When you are on the skiff and you're exploring water hexes or, exploring waterways and whatnot, no random encounters or hostile random encounters are rolled. For the living will not approach it willingly.
Huh.
They have an innate fear. I mean, like, if they want to bargain with you to try to, hey, I want to, do some crazy shit. I need to have you traverse me somewhere and, here's my passage. That's one thing. But, like, innately, no random hostile encounters are rolled because
Now, if
what the skiff is.
If I were to use this and help explore, let's say, not me, but if we were to use this and help explore, would they need tribute every time they came aboard, or 1 tribute for them?
That's your call.
That is my call. Okay.
I demand exactly 99 copper each time.
Look, I'm not going to EA this, okay? It's in the game. So, if I figure that out, then I'm going to explain that to Sol and the rest of the party. This looks like I can use this for the time being. It may prove useful for us as a vessel at the moment. The only thing you have to be wary of is, for one, to get aboard, need something very small tribute. Two, don't touch the ore. Don't ever touch the ore. Don't think about touching the ore.
I touched the ore.
Do you really?
I'm holding a piece of ore that I got from Josh in my hand.
No, I strictly point at the ore that's in my hand right now. The sword do not touch. Instant death to you if you touch it.
Anything long and wooden, I have no intention of touching it, especially if it's yours.
I see what you did there. Ha 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 ha. I am an adult. All right. Anything else you all do? Before I get on to the next little segment. Nope.
No.
All right. So as Drake leaves the tower, the fire giants are once again dead. The frost giants and the Analian warriors that stood welcoming you are slayed. Their bodies severed, heads decapitated, so forth, so on. Drake immediately notices something off with the field or the very essence of magic in the land that he is currently standing on. It's being drained and redirected. As he takes a few moments studying, using his detect magic and all the other tricks at his disposal. The ley lines, the ambient magic of the various woods, to the ores in the mountains. Their essence is flowing rapidly to W6. He takes a few moments to also survey. There are hundreds of soldiers, if not thousands, that have scattered along the lines of that new orange column right there, or that new orange line you were asking about. From that orange line over, that magic is the ambient magic of magical items, is being drained and directed to W6.
Is my magic or the magic of my magic items, or because they're mine, is it resistible?
You feel like if you stay here for an extended period of time and if you take a long rest here, your magical items would become susceptible to it.
Correction. Would mine... Okay, Drake knows that would be what the average person's would be. Would they be able to do mine, though, because they'd have to be able to lock onto me?
With this, yes.
It's like an AoE, then, is
Yes.
what Drake is assuming. It's indiscriminate. Everything gets sucked up,
Yes.
regardless of what energy it actually is.
Yes, sir.
What was Drake's? So I got a lot of tabs open because I'm trying to level up my character as well.
It's all good, man.
Okay.
Yes.
Drake wants to figure out if he knows the daemon's energy isn't negative energy. It's like the absence of energy. But there's always an opposite of every. There's always a correlating positive for every negative.
Yes.
So Drake is wondering, is the opposite of the negative energy pull, this daemonic energy, the energy that the Court of Stars uses? I'll make a roll.
Go ahead and make a roll.
37.
Yes. Yes, it is. Where the daemons are absolute destruction. Bring everything to nothingness, true nothingness. Court of Stars energy is absolute creation.
Oh, I have an idea that could really fuck up people. Okay. I know you probably don't have the statistics mapped out because it was completely caught by surprise, but my new spectral companion as I pat the side of my new astral tiger.
Okay. I don't have it where I can post it to you, but I got it in my own personal notes.
Okay. How strong is he relative to most daemons?
He is a level 24. So unless it's a Daemon Lord or Champion, he Hawk Smash. And then if it is a Champion or a Lord, depending on the individual, he will win or they will win.
Drake is going to summon Maximilian for the first time.
Okay. He appears by you and is elated.
Time
Flying
to renew
about
our
you.
adventures, little buddy. Big buddy.
He immediately
Damn,
burned
what
you
were
for
they
calling
feeding
him
you?
little.
I give him a hug and after the good-natured ribbing. I say, I think it's time to pay a visit to some far-off friends of ours. And, by the way, this is Diego. Introduce him to my new astral tiger.
Okay.
I just feel like tigers should be named Spanish names.
Fair.
Don't know why.
Whatever. They, acknowledge each other and yeah.
I am going to. Drake decides to call upon one of his many deals and make an astral trip to the Court of Stars.
Okay. All right. Your reality around you vanishes, and then you're standing in the cosmos itself. You see only one figure appear before you, and it's weakened. Still in its weakened state, You're not sure if it's actually weakened or if it's dying. This entity commands incredible power. It speaks in the common, what you've grown accustomed to, both the masculine and feminine vocal cords at the same time. You have finally returned to us.
Yes. And as is my nature,
It waves its hand, and the surrounding scenery changes to the star cluster where your world is. And then y'all are hovering over the planet itself.
I say, as is my nature, I have plans to thwart and enemies to confound. I may have found an opportunity to strike out against our mutual foes, if the Court of Stars would be so inclined.
We will aid, and what we can. A shift has occurred. And it waves its hand once more, and you see the bleak realm of Abaddon. And you've seen Abaddon before. There is something different about it.
I say,
The pale, because the skyline is filled with the pale light, and it's dimming.
I have the opportunity to eliminate a Demon Lord for you. And this elimination would cost you nothing. Relatively. Currently, on my worlds, a mortal of admitted prodigious strength and purity of body is attempting to fuse with a Daemon Lord. Now, whether it's actually a Daemon Lord or whether it's... I don't believe it's one of the four, but I believe it's only a Daemon Lord. Drake literally doesn't know which one it is, so that's why he's saying it that way. But in doing so, he has set up a ritual in the stupidest possible way he could have. And it provides us an opportunity. One he can't possibly stop. Especially with me there. He's setting up a ritual to absorb the ambient magical energies of his location. Someplace your kind, I don't believe, will be able to trot upon. Or if so, would be immensely vulnerable if you did. But if I were to take several star hearts or whatever you think the equivalents would be in power to a...
You see him raise his hand, and an image forms, an unlikely image. You've seen this image before, or you've seen this person before. In your brief time in the village of Vorgoth, companion to your son. You see the one they called Chucky.
Yeah. I say, I'm looking at him. What about him?
The
I say to
power you seek, he wields. My time is ending.
I'm looking for someone's power. You let me explain my plan, I tell him. You would realize this literally is going to take nobody's actions, but my own. I say, I know from dealing with Sindric the Old, the representation of your power in terms of coalesced item form would be the heart of a birthing star. If I can get one of them from you, I can bury it in this aura, and he will suck up that energy, and it will negate the energy that he is trying to fuse with, causing the ritual to fail and the demon lord to cease to exist. Because one negative eliminates a positive.
You see your surroundings of Abaddon, and then Abaddon shrinks as if your view of it, like you're traveling away from it. And you see the other Courts of Stars members around the outside of Abaddon itself. Each one holding an immensely powerful idol. A heart of a star. You can feel a bit of chanting, though not in the sense that you are accustomed to. It is alien. And you see for the first time from this current vantage point, if you will, the wound that is Abaddon, the prison that holds the adversary, is crumbling. Each one of these Courts of Stars members are using their immense power and gifts to keep it from collapsing. And again, he goes to the image, the one you've heard referred to as Chucky. Within him resides what you seek. My time is running out. For that small creature that none have ever truly took notice of, beyond a forgotten goddess and a handful of his tribesmen. An unlikely creature, unlikely soul, is now the sword.
You see much, so I will ask the question. Not his current power, but the power that resides within. His level of strength. Or level of potential. Is it higher? Or is this Daemon Lord's higher?
The potential of what he can become exceeds my own. The Daemon Lord that is part of this does not compare to what he can become.
If I help him to speed up the unearthing of said power, just from its use, will that help? I gesture up towards the sky, implicating the group of Court of Stars that are working on Abaddon. Does that help that, or does it simply help the mortal coil, which me and mine currently reside? Which battlefield does that help?
Both.
So you're saying I shouldn't do this? I should let him deal with it.
That is a decision only you can make, Drake.
Oh, no. I have graduated from the standard adventurer bullshit where I have to deal with cryptic messaging. I am the one that gives cryptic messaging now. No, you do not get to pull this bullshit on me.
He
If you are
looks at
asking
you.
me to not do this in order to provide a challenge for your successor, I will do so. Do not pull this bullshit on me. I am no longer a young adventurer. Like, Drake gets actually pissed at this. Because he's been dragged through absolute hell multiple times over with this cryptic bullshit. He has
If
now
you
earned his
stop
respect.
the ritual that is transpiring, it will solidify the hold of containing Abaddon. Our adversary, the adversary to all, is now beginning to stir and is slowly influencing events. If you help his acceleration, it will help strengthen my brethren, which will help keep Abaddon the prison that it has always been. If you wish the war to come sooner, then do nothing.
Not the goddamn question. Question is, do I take care of it using the heart of the star, a birthing star theory, in which case I eliminate the threat, or are you asking me to provide a challenge to your successor? They're different questions with different results. I have earned the right for direct responses. What are you asking me to do?
That almost seems agitated itself as you came here for questions and deals. For the power needed, you must utilize the child, referring to Chucky. For an arm means right now, the item you seek is in use.
I can collect more. The most expedient method to gain said items was to go through you. You telling me you don't have any available is well within my expectations. It would just mean I have to wait a few more days before I would be able to acquire said item. I'm asking you, now finding out that you have a protege on my planet, and finding out that it would be within your worthwhile increasing said protege's strength. So I'm asking you what you want me to do. We have very different interests, you and I. Our overall interest in stopping the enemy is not in question. Your empowering of a successor is of little importance to me. At the same time, since it serves the same ends and would most likely strengthen my son, which I am all for, I'm asking directly, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to take care of this problem myself, which I will do, or do you want me to let your successor handle it?
The entity looks to its brethren, who's working feverishly to contain Abaddon. And it takes its hands and it pulls its hood down. You see the just surreal images of the stars and the cosmos that always swirls around fade away, and you see what could be interpreted of an elf. You're not quite sure. You've never seen an elf quite like it, but it has characteristics like one. Long, flowing red hair, and female. Since our inception, we have operated as we always have. And everything has led to this as she looks around. This time I choose to put my faith in the hands of one that is not us. Push him to his limits.
Chucky receives a small shiver going down his back at this.
Doesn't get a small shiver. Someone talking about me?
I will not be satisfied with my choice. But everything we have done has not diverted what has come.
I have a deal for you.
It has accelerated beyond what we ever thought possible.
Drake gets a... You know in anime where a character's face gets dark, but all you can see is the giant backlit smile that appears out of nowhere, and the eyes go pure white? Drake has that grin.
I mean, Drake is pretty much magic, so he can actually make that happen.
Done. He leans in and whispers in her ear, because her brethren are right there, and I whispers to her, let's make a deal. Let's go for broke. I want something you have. Wanted it for a long time. I've never known how to get it. I will acquire. In exchange for the heart of a burning star, in exchange for the heart of a birthing star, for your protege, upon his awakening, full awakening, as what did you call him? I have it in my notes. I just don't remember right off the top of my head. The sword of the Court of Stars.
Yes.
In exchange for when he awakens and gifting him that item, the item that all your brethren currently wield, but he does not have. I want something I desperately want, or desperately wanted. I want the complete and total knowledge of astral magic.
She smiles at you. It will be done.
We have an accord. And I extend my hand. Still full dark and, backlit grin.
She clasps your arm. And this oath is far different than any you've ever conducted. Not necessarily in the like what has been done. And there have been some tremendous deals that outstrip the potency, if you will, of what's being bartered here.
It's the weight of the deal, not necessarily the power of the
exactly.
deal.
The weight of the
outside
deal,
of-
where this has been like a binding of your lineage's blood. This oath is written in the very cosmos itself. So he has now has created an oath that has far exceeded even his mother's. As
pretty
far
sure since
as
she's had multiple deals with the Court of Stars, I'm pretty sure there might be some equal deals there.
equal, yes.
But either way, I now have a mastery of another form of magic that I'm not supposed to have. I'm ecstatic.
Once he's acquired this item.
Yeah, guess what? Greater wish. I did the exact same thing when I made the deal with Cedric the Old. Exact word for word, just point for point deal. So that's why I knew it would work. I have the item. He just has to actually successfully assume the mantle.
As you feel her arm class, and this is written in the very cosmos itself, you can definitely feel her strength weakening. Her time does draw near. And in that arm class, you can see the myriad of different things. Like you feel the myriad of different things this entity has done over the eons. The things it did before this world was even formed and the gods settled and so forth, so on. Or this world's gods. Before Thrazagoon crashed upon this realm. You can see what it's done for your companions, though brief, because they've only interacted with it once, but the gravity of what it has done. And it is fading away. Not the history, not what has been done, but this entity of valor, of a true paragon, not necessarily good or evil, as that's not what the Court of Stars are. But you can feel that just slipping away.
Now the fun part. Tormenting the younger generation with cryptic quests with not incomplete information. All to satisfy some perverse desire to get one back on those that didn't suffer as you did in the previous generation. Because payback's a bitch.
See the Pyramid of Doom transpiring right now, Drake. He's like, yes, my time has come. Forget everything else I've done. But now I get to torment. I've lived a good life.
Oh, I have a feeling Drake's going to get to be able to do this more than once, but...
All right. Is there anything else Drake wishes to speak with the previous sword of the Court of Stars before I get back to the group at large?
No, I'm good. Like I said, I'm assuming it's magically transfer the knowledge for the astral magic, since I now have the star, correct?
Yes.
Okay. One more piece.
All right. So, back to the group at large. Sorry for the side thing right there, but it needed to be taken care of. Chucky, you just get a cold chill down your spine. What do you all need? 3 days have passed in the last session.
Three days have passed since what?
Last session, 3 days passed.
I
So
got
did we
2
tell you
days.
what we
till
did
the
during
power
those 3
gain.
days, or?
That was all the traveling and getting the magical items and everything. Because y'all asked me about how long that would take to go get all those items you got, and I said roughly about 3 days. Because you spent your first day, well, it was 2 days to get all the magical items you got, visiting in all those places and whatnot, and then the first day was dealing with the refugees and resurrecting the cat.
Got it.
So, y'all are standing on the little bit of shore that remains in R23, or R22, sorry, with the skiff. What do y'all do?
I got a bad feeling.
Bad feeling about what?
I don't know. Something feels off. That's all he says.
Um. Okay, I need a ruling here, Derek.
Okay.
I told you at the end of last session that the two, because we were trying to hurry up and end things. Did I collect the Diadem of Intellect and Staff of Healing before end of session?
Yes.
Okay. Or before blood, even. I need to know because it applies to the times 10 or times 100 thing.
No, those were acquired after the blood.
Okay. Just what I needed to know. So, as a note to the group, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to be using the diadem.
I don't think anybody cares.
No.
And then we also have a staff of healing.
It's an apex
So-
item for intelligence.
And then we also have a major staff of true healing.
Okay.
I don't know if someone else wants to wield it or if you want me to wield it. It would be handy for us to have, I'm just saying.
Out of the group, you're the only magic user right now. Eve can do trick magic item, but oh wait, you Eve.
All of us have trick magic item, I think.
Mm,
So most of us have our hands full in combat, but except for me. But I just thought I'd bring it up just in case someone else is like, no, I want it. Okay. Or they wanted it for a side companion because I thought it would be useful.
Yep.
If not, I'll go ahead and equip it myself,
No.
just so we have it actually usable.
Remember, healing on Gavin is bad.
Yeah. That's why I was not jumping up and down to take the staff.
So I said we have some decisions to make. Do we continue our treasure hunt? Do we... The sooner we bring these back, and I hold up the 2 remaining crystals, will be beneficial as well. I say, And since I've actually had time now, Derek, to go through the list, that's why I'm bringing it up now, and I didn't bring it up in the previous campaign or the previous session. I say there's also a ritual going on, a hidden ritual, for those of you that are familiar, on a lost temple of Loth. That I have been informed about.
Oh,
Oh,
And by informed about, I mean just made aware of its existence. It's in a hidden island, A5. It is unable to be divined on, but it is a grand magical ritual.
is it A5?
Yes. Upper left-hand corner.
Yeah. And so I have us a ride there.
So what does everybody want to do?
Your skiff on water can move 8 hexes a day.
Okay.
You can also teleport to F4 and then get there today.
sure, we could.
If it's something that you all want to investigate.
We don't know much more about this ritual, or
I know it's in the ruins of Loth's temple. I can tell you about Loth if you would like.
A little bit.
I don't know how much you know about her.
not much.
The gist is she is a dark goddess that once held an entire race of elves in thrall, the Drow. She was overthrown and killed by a Drow whose ancestor, or a Drow whose, I don't remember if it was the Dragon Lord that overthrew and killed her, the first Dragon Lord, or if it was one of his descendants that overthrew and killed her.
It was the first Dragon Lord for the Dark Elves.
Okay. Dragon Lord overthrew and slew her, and that's kind of, and since dead gods have been dropping or been coming back like, fruit flies after, 2 days.
Yeah.
You have a gist of what this ritual is intending to do.
That seems like an immediate, at least let's check it out.
Look at everyone else. Does anybody else have any input or access? I don't know what other, because you're half elf, correct?
Correct.
I don't know what your other half is.
Uh,
And by that
Human.
I mean like what form of elf you're. It isn't in the actual race. It's just a matter of flavor. If it's dark, high,
Highborn,
forest. Okay.
I believe.
Just as point of reference for storytelling for attitude purposes is the reason I was asking.
Mhm.
Does anybody else have any input besides Gavin?
You
Not
expect
much.
the other two to have input. Ha!
Hey, you think it's worth going after? I don't know what we're gonna gain or find there, though.
I don't think any of us do, and I think that's part of the risk.
I mean, I'm hoping to not see Risen Dead God there, but that depends on how fast we get there.
And the best part is we'll be getting there just about this evening. Because dark rituals, dark goddess, dark elves. Let's get there right about, when it's starting to sun's starting to set. Seems like perfect planning to me.
Alright. I need an AFK for a few minutes, and I will be right back. If that's all what y'all are going to do, we will start that, because y'all are going to teleport to...
F4, and then we can use the skiff to get there later this evening.
Yep. Alright.
Yep.
So be right back.
Alright. I am going to get drink then and stuff.
I'm still looking forward to being able to give Chucky a quest now.
When we were going through that stuff in the other campaign, the first one, and I was with you when you were being tortured by the one. Well, technically it was both Drake and Xandrick, but I had a feeling it was going to come back on one of my characters.
Wait, what are you talking about? I don't remember what you're talking about.
All the tea in the one country when Xandrick was going.
Oh, right.
And then
Actually,
of course
that just upped the level of difficulty I'm going to make here. I completely forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, damn you. I need Xandrick to just appear and give you more tea.
Yeah, that's okay. Payback's a bitch, and so am I.
Be right back.
I have to 8K for a couple minutes.
All right, I'm back. Sorry. Hello? Yeah. Everybody left me. Sad face.
While you were gone, the guys were talking.
Yeah. Heard somebody.
It's me, Derek. I'm grabbing some laundry to start real quick because we were taking a couple-minute break.
Nice.
We'll be back in a minute or two.
All right.
I'm here.
Welcome back here.
I feel like I should name a character here now. The confusion.
And I'm back.
Yo. Someday we will have to play the Witcher RPG game.
Yeah, we will.
I'm back.
Fucking COVID messing up all my fucking hobbies. They just released a post about the upcoming books for the Witcher RPG or tabletop RPG, and
Did you hear the recent news on the Witcher game series?
which bit of news? Because there's been a couple.
The big negative one has been the
The
game.
director from 3 quit because bully accusations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here, though. Some new blood might be worthwhile in that particular company. Just case in point, Cyberpunk. They only really focus on one game at a time. And Cyberpunk was flaming hot garbage, to put it nicely.
I'm hoping that Cyberpunk is the next No Man's Sky, and what I mean by that is that it starts out really horribly and becomes a fucking phenomenal game after a little bit.
Yeah, but game companies need to stop fucking doing that because that's becoming
Yeah.
more common fucking practice.
No,
Doesn't-
I agree, but I really like, Cyberpunk, and I like The Witcher, and, the allegations of bullying and whatnot, it's not the only one, so hopefully this, company, stops their shit and gets it together,
Okay.
because...
I'm a lot more lenient with game companies and accusations like bullying, sexual harassment, like is going on at what's the parent company that owns League of Legends?
Riot.
Riot.
That's been a thing
that's
for years.
yeah. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, like bullying, you have to remember. You have to be careful with bullying in game companies, just because sometimes it literally just is a deadline issue.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
realistically speaking, with game companies, there are certain creators out there that would spend 10 years polishing a fucking game
Before
for
release, yeah.
minor benefits, if that.
Yeah.
Costing millions of dollars or trying to get every single bug. And sometimes developers just need to get a kick in the ass to get a game out.
Yeah, that's why I'm not condemning CD Projekt Red until hard evidence comes out. If hard evidence comes out that truly supports, it's more than just get your ass in gear. We need to, we need to complete our game. I share that.
I'm with you there. Like if evidence comes out like they were beating their employees behind the scenes, okay, I kind of understand what you're talking about there. But if it was just, guys, get your asses in gear and get this shit done, kind of.
Or we're gonna fire you and get somebody that will get it in gear.
Exactly. Or if you can't live up to expectations, there's the door. Because I think CD Projekt, because there was in Game Informer, it went through. I think it was Game Informer. Don't quote me. It might have been an online article. I don't remember off the top of my head. They're like, there's certain game companies out there that are like that. They're like great places to work until you get close to a deadline.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you get close to a deadline, everybody is pulling 80-hour weeks, and
cough, Blizzard.
We will berate you into the ground until you get this game done with.
Yeah.
And as soon as the 5-6 months time frame that happens, because you're close to the deadline, elapses, all of a sudden you go back into a more relaxed environment once again until you get to another deadline, so on and so forth. Yeah. And it's just a matter. And then there's other game companies that are like that the entire time through.
Cough, cough.
Yeah.
A lot of companies owned by EA now.
Yeah, another bad one that's come up that I'm probably going to end up doing a video on is New World.
Yeah.
I did their beta, like back when they did the first release, and I was like, this combat system's way too clunky, and it's just not for me. It's pretty shitty. But then got news that they went through and they revamped like top down almost everything. I was like, all right, when it comes out, because they're thinking about coming out in August, or that's their announced release date is August. Sorry. I said, I'll probably check them out and stuff. Now, this last PTR patch, before they release, they put in their cash shop. And they're already talking about putting boosts.
Yeah.
And all this other bullshit.
Okay, Charlie?
Yeah, I think so.
He's dying.
But putting in those boosts, other bullshit, and the way that they do their crafting system, they're talking about putting boosts on your crafting XP, which is the crafting is how you're getting your better items that are not just dropping, so that's literally pay to win.
Yeah.
To me. And Amazon's already been on my shit list because they are purposely not releasing Lost Ark for the US release, because that's the company that Lost Ark has gone through to do the US release. They're literally postponing that till after New World, because Lost Ark is technically quote unquote an MMO, even though it's a Diablo-esque MMO.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt their their New World release, which they've already shot themselves in the head twice now.
Well, that and between what I hear, what they have screwed up on Twitch recently, Amazon,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
with the DMCA's and everything.
Yep, when you have a worse DMCA,
Policy than YouTube.
yeah, if it's worse than YouTube, you already know your shit on there. There's a reason I take all my recordings, post them on YouTube. I post them up on Facebook and everything like that. Is because I don't trust Twitch. I'll fucking put my shit wherever I fucking can because I don't fucking trust them.
Right. Okay, this is kind of funny. I just wanted to share it with you guys. So, PETA, everyone's favorite group to hate on,
Yep.
took a billboard out in Oklahoma, and it says Oklahoma, home of meathead Governor Ken Stitt, just to make fun, and then go vegan for life underneath it. So what does the governor do? He gets a giant grill and then hosts a campaign event underneath said billboard, and it's basically one giant grill out. I respect that. I don't know if he's Republican or Democrat. I just respect it.
Yeah.
One giant fuck
It
you.
costs $0 for people to mind their own goddamn business.
Yeah, no, whatever your personal belief is, that's cool. I will never shame anybody for their own personal belief, but do not push it down other people's fucking throats. Yes, I'm against cruelty of animals, but I'm also meatitarian and will be happy to eat meat any given day. However, if I see somebody sitting here torturing an animal, I'm going to literally beat the fuck out of them because that's against my own morality. But I'm not going to have somebody that believes that, eating meat is god awful tell me I'm not, I can't eat meat. Sorry. I protect my dogs. I love my dogs. I spoil the fuck out of them. I protect animals. But I also, I fish, I hunt. I don't hunt for sport and put, for game and whatnot. When I hunt, I literally, eat all the meat I hunt and give my hides and furs to places to utilize it. Usually I try to find some Native American preserves and whatnot, or institutes that I can give it to. But that's my own thing. If you believe that you should be vegetarian, vegan, whatever, go for it. I don't give a shit, but don't shove it down my fucking throat.
Isn't it also a thing that people who are vegetarian and vegan have to take supplements because they're not getting proteins and other vitamins and stuff because of their limited diet?
There is a vitamin deficiency that happens because of vegans. They get them in lesser forms from certain vegetables, but there is a specific protein that they lack that they have to take a supplement for if they are pure vegan or vegetarian.
If you
There's
want
a
to really get into the
specific.
nitty-gritty, our evolution, look at our teeth. We were designed to be omnivores.
Yes, we are. But that goes into, and then anybody who watches this, sorry if this, sparks any outrage, yada, yada, yada. Whatever your personal belief is, stick to it, whatnot. Just don't shove it down our throats. And we won't do the same. But back to game. Yes. Back to game. You all have decided to teleport to F4, and you are taking the skiff without issue to A5.
I give Charlie 2 platinum. Because I'm a high roller like that.
Who gives Charlie what for passage upon the skiff? He's given 2 platinum. What about you, Araxis? And
I have to look at my very limited.
I give him 2 high fives. No, I'm kidding.
It's I just said it's up to my discretion, so I could have said yes to that, but I don't know.
All I got is platinum, so I guess I give him 2 platinum.
That would be fucking hilarious. 10 coppers, 1 silver, 10 silvers, 1 gold. 10 gold is 1 platinum.
So if I take 10 gold, that'll be
1 platinum.
and Dan just did.
2 platinum, and Chucky did 2 platinum.
Well, I think Chucky was going with the myth of, you know.
Yeah.
You give the ferryman 2 coins.
Yeah, it's just Solon has reached the level of wealth that dealing in lesser currencies just feels wrong to him.
Fair.
Well, the only reason
currently
I have platinum is because it's easier to carry rather than having like all converted to gold.
I currently have 2,750,000 gold.
Nice.
Sugar Daddy Dan.
And hear a word you just said, Sam. What?
She said, Sugar Daddy Dan. So what are you giving?
I've converted some of my gold into platinum because,
So all of them gave you 2 platinum.
yeah.
When they hand it to you, the coins dissolve into your hand. They board the skiff. It takes you a few hours. The sun is setting. And it is actually quite beautiful, with the storm lessening now 2 times.
Thanks, Sam.
You can actually see, in some spots, the sun setting over the ocean. Something that hasn't really been seen their entire time here. And for, the natives of the islands, this is the first time they're seeing such things. Because, yes, sometimes they would see the sun in the eye of the storm, or the moon, but then beyond that, just clouds.
God, the sun glittering off the ocean.
Yeah, yeah. As you arrive on the shore, it is the temple and the building structures are in ruin, but it is not overgrown with vines and other plants. There's no wild beasts. As you get closer, you can hear the small hum of chanting. You can feel the energy in the air as it electrifies your body, or sensations, I should say. There's a skiff. There are actually a handful of docks. Do you pull up to one of the docks or to the shore itself?
This will be a Charlie question.
Say it one more time.
There are a handful of docks. Do you pull up to one of the docks or to the shore itself?
Fuck it, I'll pull up to a dock. Who else is gonna take this, take the skiff but me?
I'm pretty sure he was more on the stealth angle question here than the Grand Theft skiff.
Yeah.
God, when you put it that way. Wait, why don't you want to do Grand Theft Doc?
That would be where they tried to steal your skiff. And feasibly, since it's the skiff that can go anywhere in the realm of the dead, and they're trying to bring back a dead god, theoretically, it may actually work towards their advantage.
By the way, as Eve's with us, she gives 2 platinum as well, because all she has is platinum as well.
I don't know, Evil's with us. Sweet.
I will say though, if they try to step on or grab the, I don't even think they would even get to the ore. If they try to step on, they're dead.
So which one is it? Pulling up to one of the dock, or putting your ship at the dock, or your skiff at the dock, or pulling up to the shore?
We'll pull up to the shore. We'll be smart about it. Fuck it, as I pull up to the shore, what do I sense within a mile?
There is roughly around 800 life forms on this island. And then the smaller island, about a half mile from this, there's about 200 to 300 life forms.
Okay.
But yeah, so from the shore, about 150 feet, there is a large stone remains of one of the sides of the temple wall. It has been left in ruin, but it's also been upkeep. There's no dust, there's no overgrowth or anything like that. You were going to say something, Sam?
I was gonna ask how the skiff worked because I don't have just me. I just deducted another 2 platinum for Jaff, but also my imp. Does he count as something I need to make a donation for?
I'm not going to make you pay for your companions that are part of your class. Like your character. Those are, by extension, you.
Fair, okay.
I mean, Charlie can if he wants to be a dick, but then, that's up to him.
That's... Being the dick isn't my forte.
I mean, I could see Jaff needing to also make payment because he's human-sized at the moment. He takes up space.
But his soul is bound to yours.
The soul is more... It isn't the weight, it's the soul that requires the payment.
Yep.
Yeah. Your souls are entwined. And your imp is now entwined with you as well. Which is still
Put it in a
sleeping.
more poetic form. The only weight that the skiff is concerned with is the weight of the soul.
Yep.
Okay.
And right now, your soul is heavy as fuck.
Did you just call a woman fat?
No, just
A
my
woman
soul.
who's within hitting range?
No, he called my soul fat.
By extension, your cat.
I mean, if
Iron Dragon.
if I brought upon the mortal world the lure that destroys the chains of the Oblivion, yeah, my soul would be a little heavy too.
I'm never gonna hear the end of that.
You really aren't.
We all have our things that we never
You
really
brought it down with some fishing tackle.
You know what? In my defense, at least we aren't in a spaceship and I try to roll the window down.
I thought WoW was the only game that I could make a living off fishing. No. D&D.
Yep.
The most OP class is to fish with.
I thank you, Sam, for bringing that one up. That made me chuckle. That was thank you for that callback.
Yep.
You're welcome.
So, as you banks itself on the shore, all the small life forms, the crabs and other, they just scatter. They're like, fuck no, not going to be around this thing. The sounds of chanting intensify. It's almost beautiful, perfect harmony. You also hear other commotions going around on the other side of the wall. Small conversations you can't really make out the detail of, and the hustle and bustle of a community.
Hey, people I didn't kill with my tsunamis and terraforming.
You smell the scent of baked goods, meats. It's actually quite pleasant. What do y'all do? So to give it, let me get on that real quick. I'm gonna go to a whiteboard real quick so I can kind of give you an example. Wow.
I didn't hear what she said. What?
So why is it gotta be a whiteboard?
Because we're about to go and kill a bunch of black people.
Wow.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong. Hopefully. Maybe. We'll see what happens.
True or false? Drow are the black people of the elven community.
Oh my god.
They're
I mean,
more
literally, they have black skin. Look at you trying to make this more racist than it has to be. Wow, Sam, just wow.
Fucking regular dirt chopping over here.
I'm not sure who you're referring to, me or continue with the Sam joke. I'm okay with either.
Alright, so oh god. Bad thing. Alright. So y'all are skipped, banked here. This is the outlining of this section of the wall of the Temple of Loth. One thing you do notice with your life sense is that everybody here is quite healthy. Like their life force is just it's immense. They're healthy. They're you sense no illness, no sickness, no hunger. People starving. Just everybody here is very well off.
Alright. I'm gonna make mention of it, especially mention that it doesn't look like any disease has touched this island yet. We still want to try and make this stealthy and maybe find a way in through like the waterway or some shit.
I don't know. We're assuming their intentions are bad. We know that for sure, though.
I know it's dark ritual. It doesn't necessarily mean
Evil.
yeah. After all, I hold up the new staff of healing, which is a golden staff with a cross on the top embedded with rubies. this is technically dark magic. Because necromancy is the school.
That is so true.
Hell, for all we know, it could be a ritual to keep her from coming back.
True. So what do we want to do? Do we want to stealth in?
I can certainly try.
I can attempt.
Yeah, I can certainly try.
Wait, what does Eve have for feats?
Charlie or Gavin.
Mm-hmm.
You notice a life force that is about 30 feet to the left.
To the left?
Yeah.
Looking kind of directly in that direction, can I tell what it's doing?
It's observing, but you don't see anything there. You just sense the presence of the life force.
You know, the wording on this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
All right.
And it really doesn't seem that great when you're forced to use the lowest modifier.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was forced to roll with the lowest modifier with advantage, something like that.
No. So I can't tell exactly where it is over there in 30 feet, but I just know it's 30 feet.
Give me a... You can sense its life force, and right now it's stationary. You can give me a perception check. Right now, you get the sensation. It's like deers and like a deer in headlights. Like when you look directly at it, it just kind of like seizes up. Not like dying, but oh shit, did they see me?
Okay. Using the distance with my life sense, then, and it's within my movement range. Cloak of teleportation. Teleport to it. And tell it, yes, I do see you.
Sam, you would those with True Sight would see it after Charlie or Gavin teleports because you know y'all are looking around and your attention he didn't make notice of this to y'all. So when you see him teleport, then you would see over there. And with True Sight, and I forgot you have True Sight as well, Charlie. There is a drow female who is invisible. Very potent magic in play here. The reason why, out of game, the reason why you picked it up, it failed its stealth check. Against your perception DC.
Loving it.
Well, shit. And you see the invisibility just fade. This drow female, she has, just dark white hair, light purplish skin, and her eyes are a kind of a golden amber. Elegantly dressed, though in leather kind of armor. Definitely that of somebody of station, of status. Well, you all are definitely quite gifted if you can see through my magic and, well, my capabilities at stealth. She does a curtsy to the group at large. Welcome. I am curious what has brought you to our land.
The grand ritual being performed on this island.
She looks at you curious. An outsider knowing of our interworkings. I have not seen you or your kind here before. Not from the mainland, as she waves her hand towards the direction of the island that you have called your home.
We are just that sneaky.
Give me a deception check.
You're just that sneaky.
This was with an additional +2 from my true lie.
She looks you over and just smiles. Of course. Well, welcome to Shala. She lifts her left hand and motions it downwards, and then you see 12 individuals appear that did not fail their stealth check. 4 of them are up on the walls, while the others are surrounding. And again, these individuals are in medium heavy armor. The ones on the walls have very elegant bows pointed at all of you. The others having their blades drawn. A couple of them have some shields, while the others wield either a single scimitar or dual wielding. All of them are of sword make in some fashion or another. What do y'all do? Well, let me ask you this. What is your intent here, outsiders?
Depends on what the ritual was doing.
Really,
Dark doesn't necessarily mean evil.
She smiles at you. I am glad I'm speaking to at least one enlightened mind.
Now, if this ritual is bringing Loth back, that might be.
You see a look of disdain cross her face when you say that.
By the look on your face, it means that is not the case. I feel better now.
I would watch. I understand you are outsiders here, but be careful accusations of such around some of the others. That thing will never be brought back if we have anything to do about it. Come to the city, Shala. And she turns with grace and begins walking.
Can I roll an insight just to make sure she's being honest?
Yes, you can.
What is that in this game? Perception?
Perception.
Not that character, although she'd be suspicious too. I might as well roll for her because she'd be suspicious too. Same roll.
Both of you feel fairly confident she's telling the truth. Though while she has a more welcoming demeanor, all the other guards around you, their faces are just stoic. They have not shown any true expressions of disdain or welcome nature. They are doing their job and they are watching you very closely.
So, Zedek, question. As dealing with new stuff, my auras I can't turn off, right?
Correct.
So am I scaring people? Am I not scaring people?
The question here, and this goes towards like allies, would you consider them a threat? Meaning, would you focus your aura upon them?
No.
You can't turn it off, but you can exclude.
At this point, with the information that's been given
Other
so far,
than her, the other ones are out of range of your aura.
yeah. But we're also going into cities, so that's going to change quite. At the moment, no, they would not be.
For all intents and purposes, I will say you can turn it on and off. It's always there, but you let me know when you want to actively enforce it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
It's not exactly turning it off, but
Yeah. So what do y'all do? She walks relatively fast, with grace, every step very precise, and the other guards are not moving until you decide what you're going to do.
Do they make any motion to the goblin holding a very gigantic axe?
Nope.
Because I'm holding it, I'm using it like a staff almost all the time because
No.
there's no way it's going to fit on my back.
You're
without
not.
dragging.
Well, you're not wielding it in a threatening manner. I don't think.
Nope.
They pay no attention to it. They don't even give an indication they find this odd.
Motion for Solon if he wants to follow. We're being given quite
Well, I
literally
follow.
the red carpet.
I'm follow. I'm curious about the ritual. Just FYI, Derek, before next session, if I could have the next degree of
What level
monsters
of summons are you up to, or your max level?
I will look that up for you. I just bringing it up now, so
That's
way
fine. Just let me know what the max level is, and I'll give you all the levels in between.
9.
Not okay. As you make your way, you round the corner of that ruined wall, and there is a bustling city here. In the center, your eyes are immediately brought to a large purple crystal that emanates just hate, malice, evil, divine energy. And you see 8 robed figures around it that are on their knees with their hands up in the air chanting. And you can sense, again, the magical energies just radiating outwards. You see people trading, you see kids playing, and as you walk in, immediately everybody's looking at you with a sense of curiosity. Outsiders. Something you get the idea that is very rare to come here. None of them seem aggressive. Again, just a look of curiosity.
Just FYI to put this out there. A friend of mine just sent me a email. It's a story about apparently wild boars are rooting around and causing trouble in the ruins of Chernobyl and getting irradiated. My friend's response was, "Do you realize, people, this is how you get orcs?" I felt this was D&D related and therefore needed to be relayed.
Look, DD, that's how you get Warhammer orcs, sir.
Yeah, that's how you get Warhammer works right there.
Oog oog.
Wog!
A species that breeds out of control and destroys everything in its path, whether it be living or not, that can never be completely eradicated because they just breed too damn fast.
Yep.
Look like orcs, are getting irradiated. They're one step away from growing, torsos and, full human bodies and, demanding blood for the blood god.
Exactly. All right. Back game.
You did say as we were walking the city, we got to actually see the crystal radiate.
Yeah, it's radiating malice, hate, divine energy. It is very, very potent. But it does not seem to be infecting the denizens of Shala. Again, as you look at them, none of them have murderous look in their eyes or anything. Just look of curiosity of outsiders.
Nothing with true sight when you look onto the crystal or anything like that.
When you do look upon it with your true sight, you do see or sense a small shard of remains of Loth. It's literally just a piece of one of her spider legs.
So I'm making a guess. All this means that
She stops. This is the city proper. This is where people go about their lives. Over there, schooling, university. Over there, as she points to the north, our artisan district, crafts. She goes through her bouts, just kind of like showing you the directions of, the various areas, entertainment, where you're at. You're in like the common market, thoroughfare. And while the outskirts of this city are from the ruins of the Temple of Loth, the structures, the houses, the buildings are made out of wood and stone, fine craftsmanship. The guards will keep a watch on you while I go speak to the Queen about your arrival. She already knows you're here, but I must give a report. If there is anything you wish me to convey, please inform me.
How are you, a question. Are you in any way, or how are you related to, I'm blanking on his name. The Dragon Lord Drow.
Oh my god.
Just glad I'm not the only one, apparently, that
Oh
don't
God.
respond.
Oh, I can't remember his name. I'm not going to look up the notes. Well, how would you look at it? Our queen.
Talloran.
Talloran, there we go.
Sarah.
Our queen would be his great grandmother 5 times over. Wife to the one who slew Loth. Now, is there anything you wish me to convey to our queen? Or any immediate questions you have for me before I depart? And she does, while she is being welcoming and polite in this, you do get the sensation there is a sense of haste here. Do not take too much of her time with this.
I'm kind of willing to wait until she comes back with it.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah, I
else
got
have
nothing
anything?
immediate.
Sorry.
No questions that I have could wait till she gets back.
She does a curtsy once more and departs. Anything y'all wish to do? You have about an hour before she returns. And again, while people are going about their daily lives, they give the crystal and those that are chanting around it they don't get too close to it. They stay about 200 feet away from the center where this is being conducted, but they go about their daily lives,
Observing the ritual, can I try to divine its purpose?
Sure. You can give me either religion or occult on this roll.
And Dan, I do let you know that within the crystal lies a piece of Loth.
I'm going to go ahead and token that one.
Okay. Much better.
Right?
You just switch the numbers around.
I'm dyslexic.
This ritual, as you're watching it, we'll say you spend a good part of 30 minutes watching it. Because it's actually very intricate. While, like, to the, uninitiated, it just seems like they're just sitting there chanting. They don't notice the subtle movements of the fingers and various different things like that, and the pitch and the change in the chanting. This is a 2-part ritual, you can tell. It's both summoning forth the power of Loth and then preparing for a transfer of that energy.
I say to the group.
Well, before you say that, that's about 30 minutes. Does anybody else do anything? Raxus says she's actually sketching the surroundings, the architecture and whatnot. So does Chucky or Gavin do anything in those 30 minutes?
I'm actually kind of curious. You said that I sensed an abundance of life here. do they actually have a cemetery or a place for their dead?
As you look around in the immediate surroundings, you do not see a cemetery. Um, you do. Give me a just perception check while you're just looking around. You do see statues of individuals and the like, with placards at the bottom of them giving their name, but they are very far in between. Like, um, you get the from the numbers, uh, these individuals lived thousands of years
Mm-hmm.
for succumbing to death. Um, as you're looking around, Chucky, was you're about to go on whatever you're about to do. All of a sudden, you see this small elven child come up to you, and you're about the same height. Just looks at you. And, what are you?
Literally just starts asking me what I am.
Yep. Small elven boy.
I'm a goblin.
You see some kids off in the distance. They're giggling and whatnot. As obviously this is the one either that they kind of like push to go talk to you, or was the one brave enough to come up to a stranger and ask. A goblin. What is a goblin?
We're a race of short-lived, kind of, how best to describe it? I don't know.
Age is hard for me to understand, and well, our people to understand. We don't die of age.
You don't die of age.
No.
Well, then, by your standards, we don't live at all.
How
Most of my people
intriguing.
only
You
go
see
to-
him pull out a journal and actually write that in there.
Most of my people only live to be around their 20s, but that's just because of our nature. My people, specifically, are trying to break that, though. And some of our, my eldest people live into their 60s and 70s.
That is fascinating. May I have your name?
Debating here, Derek. Yeah, my name is Carell.
Corral. Well, if it is not too much of a hassle, and well, if you all are here for some time, I have a school project. I would love to have you as my project.
It's gonna be show and tell.
A school project.
I do not mean that the meaning, but we are all nearing our graduation of our 87th year, and we are expected to bring a thesis and new information to our people. And well, you are the first goblin I think any of us have ever seen.
Don't worry, Kirill. I'm sure they won't be dissecting you.
So while this elf looks young, he's at least 87 years old.
And already smarter than most of our group.
What kind of project is this necessarily? Just
informing on another species that shares this world. We have stories of the world before this storm, but we know very little of the species that live outside the boundaries of our prison.
This is a very lucky day for you then, because most of my party comes from the outside.
Fascinating. I've seen a human before. Well, we're elves, so your companion over there that is studying the ritual that's being conducted. And I'm quite curious on her, though. She
You'd be
seems to
wrong
be
then.
elf.
He's wrong on the guess for me.
Correct. He does not know you're a ladder.
I know, that's why I'm telling Chucky this, because he knows.
I'm not saying anything yet.
I'm curious on her. Well, she has some elven features. She kind of resembles creatures in our stories, dragons.
I don't fully know the story behind that, but yes, I think she has some dragons there.
What would it take for you to convince your companions to be part of my project? A look to the outside world beyond our prison.
The only thing I could say is ask them. It's not up to me to decide or convince them. It's technically you. Isn't that part of your project?
Well, yes, but you seem the most approachable, so that's why I came to you.
I'm the most approachable. The guy with the gigantic axe.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't mean this insultingly, but you seem pretty straightforward. Muscle bound, something angers you, you cut it, you kill it, do whatever you do. The one studying the ritual is quite gifted in the magical arts. The strange female over there, I'm quite unsure, and your companion over there reeks of death itself.
Yeah, that's complicated, that one.
So yes, you seem to be the most approachable.
Does he make any gesture to Eve? Because she is there too.
I forgot Eve's there, my bad. Then he would say, "What are you all, or what are you two?" And he would include her in there. That was my bad. I forgot Eve was there.
Well, she is actually not fully goblin. She's a mixture.
Fair. I think she has
what,
more.
for personal curiosity.
Oh, me and Eve?
No,
Right.
what is Eve a mixture of?
Now that would be a question that I don't know if Chucky could answer.
Like, it's never been brought up in game that she looks anything different from a goblin, so that's why.
Yeah.
Well, I
I've never
described that
asked it.
when we first started, that she was something not quite fully goblin.
Fair, but ever since then, she's been described as a goblin.
Not
So,
necessarily
forgive
by me,
us.
though.
Yeah,
But you didn't
When
correct
we
any
first
of us.
When we first interacted with Eve, she was sneaking around on the ship, not really a place to ask questions. And then we were trying to swim for our lives. And then the next time we encountered her, we were tracking her down in the middle of about to be eaten by a giant predator.
Well, the best description I can give to Eve is she looks like a short green elf.
So an attractive
She has
goblin.
more of a human
Yeah,
feature.
so an attractive goblin. For
Tell me I'm wrong.
shame, she has set an unrealistic standard for female goblins everywhere to these people.
He's not wrong. And the other unrealistic expectation, Chucky probably the biggest goblin ever.
I know, right?
Goblin ever is the opposite side of that particular coin.
So you
The
have
two
a very
worst
attractive.
examples of goblin species.
You have
are
a
sitting
very
here.
attractive female goblin, and you got Hercules goblin.
And he's asking you about your species as a whole.
Yeah.
That's just awesome.
That is absolutely phenomenal right there. Wow.
So outside of game, what is she a hybrid of?
Trying to remember what I had that all as. I think it was human, hobgoblin, goblin, and then I think there was something else in there that I can't remember.
There's only one of those things that can be attractive.
Hobgoblins are actually kind of tall, actually.
I'm not referencing height.
I don't know.
Since you said elven, there's probably some elven in there. So your people mingled, or her people mingled with the other races.
Some type of fae, some type of human, and then goblin and elf. Hobgoblin is just an evolved version of a goblin.
Or goblin.
You share very similar DNA sequences.
Yep.
But that's what like I said, just for curiosity's sake.
So if you find them to be approachable, then yes, I will ask them myself. But again, you were the most approachable, so I thought it fitting for you to converse with your companions. And of course, if compensation is needed, I can compensate you quite handsomely if you'd like.
I'm not sure about that, but I can bring it up to them.
I would appreciate it. And he gives you directions to his homestead.
So I actually do walk over and,
Give me a perception check real quick. As you're finishing up the conversation, he is writing in his journal.
Let's see, not that character sheet. Not that book. I have multiple tabs open. Natural 20.
First contact with the species known as goblin has gone good. Or has gone well. Further investigation is needed, but high hopes. And then he closes his journal and walks away. Oh, he would also inform that you do seem intelligent.
There are quotes around that.
It would be, he seems intelligent, defying his physical stature that, most brutes are dumb.
So there are quotes around that.
Pretty much.
I like this kid more and more.
All right. So what do you do, Chucky?
I go talk to who seems the least busy first.
That would actually probably be Gavin, since he is just looking around for cemetery. Not, Raxus is drawing, and Solon is studying the ritual.
So I walk up to Gavin and I'm like, so it sounds like some of the kids here are wondering if we would be able to answer some questions and help them with a school project.
When you say kids, are you talking like
The one I talked to was like 80 something.
Ah.
Apparently they don't die either, so there's that.
Die of
Oh.
old age.
Oh, die. They don't die of old age.
Damn!
Those are some really nice perception rolls.
Don't
Tell the
worry.
kid to come over. I'll talk to him. Question for question. And he has to help me procure an item on the island.
How far away is Araxis?
Probably not too far from Solon. She's probably perched up against something growing.
I would gesture her for her to come over and join the conversation because apparently Solon already has.
I'm just like
That-
shouting over from where I'm continuing to work. I just rolled a perception to hear what you just said.
Yeah, I
Because
know.
whether it will catch Solon's interest or not, he has to hear something that would actually catch his interest. The fact that they seem to be closer to Eladrins than they seem to be to elves has caught his attention.
Do you come over? Emotion for you?
Being so focused on drawing the sketches and stuff, somebody would probably have to actively try to get my attention or come poke me.
Oh my.
Because I might actually be so focused on drawing, kind of just like meandering about in like a confined zone, that I might almost be bumping into the people as they're going about their business.
I just don't know, Chucky. Don't know how long we're gonna be here.
I mean, it could be potentially a good way to learn about this society. Figure out if they, if their intentions are indeed good. They seem to be, but
So you go get Arax's attention. What do you say to her?
I'm just questioning how I get her attention. Just stand in front of her and let her just bump into me.
Fair. As you're, well, you bump into something short and muscly. That's right, I said muscly.
I'd know that short, muscly stature anywhere. What's up?
Apparently, some of the kids here were wondering if we would answer some questions and help them with a school project. It does seem weird, but yeah.
We've been through weirder.
I don't know, this seems pretty weird compared to what hell you've all been through so far.
Yeah, the fact that they asked me, the barbarian.
In all honesty, you're probably the least intimidating outside of Araxis.
Yeah, I could see her being intimidating in a different sort of way.
No, I take that back. She has a dragon that literally hangs
you
around
like
her.
twice, Dan.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Haven't I one-shot you almost twice now, Dan?
And?
It's not hard to do when a sneeze could kill him.
We are level 13. I'm still under significantly 100 health.
I'm taking
I
this
am
while
just-
I can.
I am just 8 over 50.
Holy
58
crap.
health.
Shit!
One-shotting
I'm
me is
closing in
not
on getting
difficult.
200 more than you.
Okay, so now everybody has effectively taken this away from me.
So, what is your answer, though? Do you?
Yeah, I'm for helping the kids, I guess.
Fine, I'll help the kids and all that bullshit.
Damn kids. All right. So at this
Stupid
time,
little ankle biters.
Time elapses. 30 minutes passes. You figure out what this ritual kind of entails. Not necessarily the exact detail, but what it's doing. And you got about 30 minutes more to kill before, if you want to inform your group on what you discovered or whatever you want to tell them.
You can tell me what I discovered?
They already told you what the ritual is.
I didn't hear that part then.
It's both summoning forth Loth's power.
Okay. That's what. Oh, God, I understand. I understand now. Looks like someone's trying to take the place of this, of the Spider Queen.
Can't exactly say that there's good intentions behind that.
Take her place and becoming evil are different things. That is might be corrupting. I say, looking at the encased spider leg.
Yeah.
But taking the place of the worship of an entity does not necessarily mean you become said entity.
True, which is why I said potentially. I didn't say let's slaughter the town. I said there's potential for evil.
Yeah, let's phrase it like that. When we know they can hide higher than we can perceive.
There's also potential for good, so.
Yeah.
We can only see what we can learn from the kids with our question and answer period.
Oh God, we're going to school. We're really doing this.
I kind of wish my brother was here. He loved school.
You make your way and you find the elven boy at his homestead. It is a 2-story house, a fantastic garden, and as night is
I assumed he was still in the square because literally it would have been 30 minutes.
No, he left. He was ecstatic that he has a school project now.
Got it. Then he would have stuck around to see if Chucky asks.
The trees that are in the yard are, as night, the night sky takes hold, start blossoming these beautiful blue and purple flowers over them. Flowers you've never seen before. It gives off a very sweet scent. And I need you all to give me fortitude saves.
All of us are immune to poison.
Fair. You don't need to make fortitude saves. And it's not really a poison, but more of a... It still falls under the same... Yeah.
Wait, let me pull out my chart of immunities here.
Snake, all of us are immune to poison.
As you approach and you pass a little stone fence, a elven woman, again light purple skin, also white hair. Her eyes are a sapphire blue. She has a very elegant gold trimmed with purple being the main color of her robe. She steps out from the side. Can I help you?
Your son approached us with a proposition earlier. We're here to take him up on it.
She looks you all over, very curious. What
You
has
wanted to
Draven...
interview us.
That sounds about right. Very, very astute boy. Draven! Your guests are here. And the window shutters open up and he looks down. And you just see this look of genuine excitement on his face as he closes his journal and he puts his hand forward, both the index and middle finger connected with the ring finger and pinky finger down, and you see him vanish and reappear in front of you two, or in front of you all.
Okay. When he sticks his head outside the window, I lean over and I whisper to Gavin, either we are promoting the next arch villain or the next archmage. I'm not sure which at this point.
There's not much of a difference. He eyes Solon.
Yeah, talk to me when I'm not the incarnation of death.
Death and evil are two completely different things.
We thought he was an enemy until 2 months ago. Don't try this bullshit with me.
And at that, the boy appears. Excellent. And he walks up to you immediately, Carell, and he just shakes your hand. Thank you so much. I am Draven. I know Carell. May I have your names?
With the flourish, I say, my name would be Solon.
He looks at you. Oh, I do apologize. Now that I have a clearer look at you, while you do have some elven familiarity, you are not, in fact, elven.
That would be correct.
I'm quite curious. And he looks to you, Araxis. And you, my mind's been going just faster than I can comprehend, trying to figure out what you are.
Hi, I'm Araxis.
It's a pleasure.
What theories have you come up with?
That greeting was so awkward, I almost took damage.
I am going to say you are a hybrid. You are one parent elven. And no. One parent's human, one parent's elven, and somewhere along your lineage, a dragon came in.
The most awkward threesome there ever was.
That's not how biology works, Solon says. 3 people getting together once does not mean they mix all 3 genetics.
Magic!
Pretty close. My mother is half elf, half human, and my father is dragon.
Your father is human. Along your father's side is
We have dragon in our blood.
No, you don't.
She does. She's dragonborn. Yeah, she's versatile heritage dragonborn. That's why she has the dragon horns and the tail and whatnot.
But even then, she wouldn't have someone in her background because Dragonborn just became a thing. Mortoid just created them last game as a species.
Yes, this is the versatile heritage. Not that I called them Dragonborn because after this, they're going to be in the Pathfinder 2nd edition.
Okay, so there are dragon-blooded people.
Yeah,
or there were.
The Dragonborn are like the Dragonborn in 5th edition, where the versatile heritage Dragonborn is somewhere in their lineage, a dragon bred with one of the.
I misunderstood. I am sorry.
Fine.
Yeah, I got that mixed up as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I realize I called them the same thing, but Pathfinder doesn't have, access to the license of the Dragonborn because, IP of Wizards of the Coast. But, yeah, I'm calling them Dragon.
Dragon-blooded instead of dragon.
Yeah. But, yeah. You're quite surprised, and you'd probably respect that Solon as the kid, deducted that expertly.
I mean, I have horns.
Yeah, but piecing it together, human, half elf, and whatnot. And then he looks to you, and he looks to you, Gavin, and there is a genuine look of curiosity.
You look dead.
A human that does not have a heartbeat, does not breathe. You are not a skeleton, nor zombie, vampire, lich. I am at a loss of what you actually are.
I will kneel down to the kid. Say, my name
What all
is.
kids love.
As Death kneels down towards the. Say that my name is Gavin, and I am a champion of death.
That is absolutely fascinating. Death is very rare amongst our people.
But all of your people seem to be thriving, as I have sensed.
We have. The Night Queen herself has, well, she was wife to the champion that slew Loth herself. This was centuries, millennia ago. She walked
Champion that slew Loth was male.
yeah.
You just said that champion that.
She was the wife to the champion that slew Loth.
Got it. Understand now.
She walked the world when it was won, before this prison was created. My mother herself, she is, and you hear her mother go, "Shush!" And then goes back to, doing her chore, her errands around the house. I'm sorry. Well, as I told Carell here, if you want compensation for your time, I am more than happy to compensate you. Our school, I'm not. You are not. Sorry, I am lost for words of myself. For myself, I would need you in 2 days.
No guarantees there, kid. We're busy.
I understand.
So questions and answers, well, within the possibility, but being available for a presentation is we'll call it unlikely, but maybe.
He nods. Then I will take as expertly notes as I can. As he opens up his journal, Mother, may I bring them inside? She nods. He waves his hand and a door opens. Please come in. As he steps in, do you follow?
Come in, says the spider to the fly as I walk in.
I'll follow in, but I'll give a slight look over to the mother.
She's just going about her business. It's almost, I don't know if you'd find it weird or not, but she does not. There's no worry of strangers going into this house with their son. As you enter the house, at first, it's a small house. It's a 2-story, but nothing big. But as, your companions enter and Rax's, Jaffa Mill come in, the house extends to make more comfortable rooming for you. A table appears, comfortable padded seats. Fireplace grows and lights. You see Draven, he sits at one of the chairs. Care for food or drink?
I'm good, but thank you.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
I'm good, thanks.
Pour
He,
myself some wine out of a bottle. Offer if anybody else wants some.
Well, my first question to all of you is: are you natives to the mainland or one of the main islands, or did you come from beyond?
Beyond.
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 He makes note of that. Can you tell me how many? I believe the word used is continents are there out there? For we have no evidence of what the world looks like now after the shattering.
could I actually do a thing and like sketch out a world map for him?
Yeah, it would take you. How detailed do you want it?
Just rough sketch, but still
About 10
detailed.
minutes. About 10 minutes, rough or detail. We'll say about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Four
So
and a
I'll have
half.
that done before we leave for him.
To help her out, I snap my fingers and prestidigitation. A small image of the world appears.
You see his eyes fixate on it. He is studying it, and you see he studies it for a good 2 minutes or so while she's sketching, and then he, with his hand, flick of his hand, you see him do prestidigitation and create a globe of what he saw as well. Fascinating as he spins the globe around and looks at all the land masses.
So, pointing at the globe, I highlight an area. I highlight Draconia. That's where your descendants currently reside.
Fascinating.
The heir to your Loth-slaying hero takes up residence there. And his
What can you tell me about him? We have no history of the current heir. The great grandchild of the Night Queen.
If it's female and it moves, he sleeps with it.
We have a word for that.
Taki wouldn't say this, but out of game, technically you have that a little bit off. If it moves, he sleeps with it.
Oh, that's
He's
right.
hitting on guys too.
I forgot about that. Yeah. I correct my statement. He's recently come to power. For a while there, Draconia fell into a state of ruin. It is just recently that the Dragon Lords have retaken their previous seat of power. Ask your mom if she knows the name Oathbinder.
I will. When she comes in, I will ask, or you can ask.
That's my last name. Out of game, Derek. It's just I'm curious because he hinted how old she was, and if she really was old enough to exist when this island didn't, there's a good chance she'd recognize the name. So this is my test for that information.
But we'll say you go about 10 minutes into general history and whatnot. That way we don't have to role play at all. He makes extensive notes. He asks you about each of your species. A little bit more detail. Less detail on the human aspect, of both Araxes and Gavin because, there's humans literally right over the fucking, over on the other island.
Mhm.
They got a plethora of information on that, but he asked you about, how you become to serve, death, so forth, so on. What level of detail do you give there? Like, do you name who you actually serve?
Let's give him a Chiron's name.
do,
That couldn't possibly
do I?
fire.
Yeah. No, I do not open that can of worms there.
Okay.
I go as. This is just only gonna spark his interest more in it, and I fucking know it. But I go as less detail as I can.
Subject is evasive and questioning. Okay. And then, he goes ask about the Hollow Rock and the goblins and how your people differentiate from, because you told him previously your people are trying to change the way that, the world and views goblins and sees goblins and change the people themselves for better. Doesn't necessarily mean they're all good or anything, but change them from marauding.
Civilizing them.
Yeah. How much detail do you go into that?
I think you would go into some decent detail. If the map is up, you'd show them where Zobek is, and then show about where on the map Hollow Rock is. And
I highlight it for him. Like, when he points it out, I'll highlight the territory.
And you see him, because he has his globe up he created, and every time you highlight and you give names to places, you see him use his own magic to highlight and actually pin a name in it.
And I think he would go on that originally Hollow Rock wasn't inhabited by the goblins. The unknown species was there at one point. We don't know who.
Interesting. Okay.
And then you would just talk about the general history.
Okay. Raxus, how much detail do you go in about your mother's side? Because you spent most of your life in the Summer Vales and Valyria, not on Amira with the others. I know you don't know much of it because you just came into this game and we threw your backstory together, but do you go into great detail about the...
Not great detail. I would stick to mainstream knowledge with maybe like fun little facts about lesser known things, but nothing that could be taken and potentially manipulated.
Copy. He notes down, very informal on the history for people in the area, but lacks in personal experience, potentially safeguarding such information from, and he makes it visible what he's writing.
I wouldn't have been so much guarded. I'd be like,
No, that's what he's writing, because you're excluding, you're keeping basic, and he's making educational, or deductions about theories of why.
fair, and it would make sense that I'd be guarded about information about my mother.
Yep. And your people, again, you're because you, like you just said, you don't want it to be able to be manipulated, and he's taking note of that.
Fair.
And it gives you insight of how smart this kid actually is, making these deductions.
He's an 80-year-old Sheldon.
No, this kid actually has a personality.
I think he would actually have wisdom where Sheldon wouldn't.
Or charisma, one of the two.
Yeah.
Well, wisdom would be common sense, which you don't know from this kid yet. Charisma, on the other hand, is actually people skills or the ability to come across as pleasant.
Yeah, but he's perceiving, our nature that we're trying to conceal, and
yeah, but that could be intelligence too. Because Sheldon can see all that shit. He doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to use it or interact with it.
Right.
He sees it to a percentage, but not a lot.
After about 20 minutes, his mother walks in. I hope everything is to your liking. And she smiles as she looks at the inside of the house. Showing off for your guest, are we? And you see Draven, he just kind of smiles sheepishly. Well, do enjoy yourselves. Mother, have you heard of the surname Oathbinder? And she looks like searching. Would it be related to Allura Oathbinder?
So you do know my grandmother.
Yes, if I recall correctly. I'm sorry, this has been some time. Ladrin.
I nod.
Yes, I've never met her personally. I only know of stories of her.
You can get my family history from your mother.
He nods, and you see like this genuine interest that he has in his mother now. Like, wow, she knows something that he truly is interested in about, because this is probably something that, has never really come up before. It's just like, oh, hey, you got these strangers and you're bringing up a name from way long ago.
Hundreds, if not thousands of years ago.
And, at this, because this is about, wrapping up, just, this is enough for his report, and he closes his journal. And, well, you said you would like question for question. Now that I have gathered the...
You asked way too many questions. We're just going to keep them to a few.
Oh, I do apologize. I hope it was not rude of me.
I have a smirk on my face. I don't...
he as you say that at first, because he's just wrapping up things, and he says, I hope that's not rude of me. He looks up at you and he smiles and he just nods. Please ask whatever you wish.
First question. Since you seem to be such an intelligent, inquisitive individual, can you tell me, why does your clan not age? That is an aspect of Eladrin. It is not an aspect of Drow.
That is... Our people, while not all related to the champion that slew or slayed Loth herself, we were of the same clan, same people. When this came to pass, our people were blessed for the deed that we did for the world at large.
Who blessed you?
I believe, and you must forgive me if for our knowledge of the gods of the outside are limited. Melora, Ayun, Serenray, and Pelor.
Fair enough.
There was a mortal, while did not bless us, but came to our people sometime after and showed us the art of combat and stealth. He went by a strange synonym, Seven.
Oh, fuck. Oh, that's funny.
I perk up at the name Seven. I was like, that explains
so much. He trained you here.
Yes.
Oh, shit. I say to Gavin, Seven has been able to come and go from these islands for who knows how long. I need to take a look at that list of locations on this island.
Chucky or Corell ask, who's Seven?
He is the only. He is the second mortal to have slain a god. And the god he slew was the god of assassins and darkness. And he beat him in an assassination off.
Really? Why does this not surprise me that you know this person?
This person became a dragon lord in his final
course he did.
days. I needed to fill a slot. He seemed like a good choice.
Like a really good choice.
And it paid off in spades. His daughter is amazing. She is nice and she has all his skills, but with personality.
Is this daughter that I heard converted someone with sweets?
Yes, I'm relaying this story while he's still there, remember?
Yeah.
While
You
the
see
kid's
him,
still there.
He has his journal open and he is writing.
His daughter actually took an aberration, a greater aberration, a beholder, greater aberration, and actually converted it into a good creature, a good non-chaotic creature, and taught it the meaning of protection, and turned it into a guardian of this reality.
That's truly impressive.
We currently have her doing the same thing with this thing's mother.
Intriguing.
It turns out the way to an aberration's heart is through sweets.
Now, is that all aberrations or only beholders?
We have not experimented enough to be able to give that a definitive answer.
Okay, and you see, I'll make notes of that.
Do not summon aberrations at home. I say this as a favor to your mother. Aberrations are dangerous.
Understood. What about if I go to the abandoned island over there?
Aberrations are dangerous. Do not summon them without someone of significantly more power than the target you are summoning.
He makes
And
note
if you
of that.
don't know who you're targeting, do not summon them.
Basic principles of normal summoning, understood, unless you're dealing with, wild creatures and the like, but
Yeah.
higher beings.
They would say something like that. I said, gesturing at my group. But I understand you better than you think. No summoning creatures we do not understand.
I
I
understand.
want you to repeat after me. No summoning creatures we do not understand.
No summoning creatures we do not understand yet.
No summoning creatures we do not understand. Don't try these loopholes bullshit with me.
He chuckles. He says, fine. No summoning creatures we do not understand.
So you're talking to a summoner. I know how this shit works.
He summons creatures he doesn't understand every day.
Hence why I don't have the summon aberration spell. Even I'm not that crazy.
Understood.
But when he said when he was talking about the island that was abandoned, is it the other island that I sensed life forms on?
No.
No.
This one actually, other than small animal life and whatnot, no sapient life.
Okay.
That who's who 7 is, or was. He's currently passed away.
And here we thought he was immortal. Was he just gifted for a human and lived for an extraordinary amount of time, or?
Let me give you the curse he will come to understand, and I point at Gavin, but none of the rest of them will. Eternity is a long time. And sometimes you just get tired.
That is profound. I've wondered how it will be in a millennia's time, how I will see the world. I wonder how the Night Queen herself deals with it. While our people have lived and do not die of old age, she has been around longer than any of us and has seen great loss in her time.
My dad told me. Drake Oathbinder.
Drake Oathbinder, father to Solon Oathbinder.
Dad told me that the key to eternal youth. Solon is now saying this not just for his benefit, but also hopefully for Gavin's benefit. Eternal youth is something that requires a goal. You need something to latch onto, whether it be your family, whether it be your ambition, whether it be curiosity. I say with a smile directed at him. You need something to drive you forward, something more powerful than despair, something more powerful than anger, something more powerful than sadness. It has to be something strong enough that no matter what obstacle gets put in your way, the obstacle will fade in insignificance compared to what you're driving for. Otherwise, you will get to a point where reality ceases to mean much to you anymore.
You see him wave his hand, and the journal he's been writing in changes to a different book, and he opens up and he writes that in it. You can tell while the writing's in here, while you cannot fully make out, and what you do see, it takes you a few seconds, but you do understand it because you can understand all languages. This is a coded language he has created.
The only reason Solon knows about this is because Drake would have unloaded at some point to both me and Luna, because he spent thousands of years by himself.
Yep.
That would, I mean...
Yep.
Without goals, that would be hard.
And then after he's finished writing that, he waves his hand and it goes back to the original journal that he was writing.
Does anybody else have any questions for him?
Yes, please ask. And I do apologize for asking another question, but curiosity and all.
Leave it off. As no problem. Any of you guys have any questions for him?
I really don't.
Not that I
Josh,
can
Sam?
think of. No.
Not really.
As you're arcanely gifted, who are they trying to make the next Loth?
He smiles at that, and that ritual out there is not for what you think. We are calling forth the power of Loth, yes, but it is not for us. There is a legend, a story, that we all must prepare for.
Oh?
It speaks of 5 torches and 5 keys, individuals that will save not just our lands and our world, but reality. When this ritual is finished, its energies of what this horrible divine being was will be gifted upon them, to strengthen, to enhance what is to come. Their trials. It is the least we can do for the sacrifices they make.
I mouthed at Gavin, our dads.
And I nodded that, understanding.
Because it's not us, because we're 4.
Mm-hmm.
5 keys would match up to our dads, though.
Yeah.
But yes, that is what is being done here. Each chanter out there chants for a month straight before being relieved of their duty, and another goes in their place and serves a month and rotates.
Crap. So,
Yeah, this scenario right here out of game had many different outcomes. Like if you all went in here guns a-blazing, whole different scenario here.
yeah. My first thought wasn't unreasonable, but I'm glad I was wrong. My second thought was I thought they were turning into another Loth. Kind of pleased that it isn't the case, but not exactly. Wouldn't have been upset at either. Finding out that it's an empowerment ritual for our dads is kind of dads and uncles. It's kind of yay, who?
Yeah.
How do we help?
And at this moment, you notice the presence of the elven woman that first met you on the beach. As she did not fail her stealth check this time, she has a smile on her face. It has been a pleasant surprise watching you interact with Draven here. I've delivered my report to the Night Queen, and she wishes to have an audience with you.
By all means.
Let us go.
You can finish here if you like. I will wait outside. This allowed me to learn much of you. She smiles, does a curtsy once more, before stepping back into the shadow and is gone.
Is there any prohibition for you all leaving this island?
No, we have, in times past, traveled to the other islands and learned, or tried to learn. Travel to the island with the monolith of air and fire is a bit hazardous. Now more so that the island that holds the monolith of fire is nothing more than a desert wasteland filled with ravaging beasts. There is not much to gain from there, at least now, until they are dealt with. The air island, while beautiful, there is many diseases and various different ailments that has stricken their people. While we have been relatively lucky, that is where a few of our members have died due to these illness. We have banned travel there, at least for now. The island, our neighbor, the last time we ventured there was roughly 3 decades ago. Oh, excuse me, sorry. 3 decades ago was our main expedition, and we found that its previous warlord, if you will, was slain by a young orc. And we had some relationships with it for some time, and then when we returned around 12 years later, it completely changed. This new warlord of Orgoth was a tyrant even worse than the previous.
Besides some disasters that have recently taken place and reshaped a significant amount of terrain, it might be worth your time to investigate this island. Not necessarily you specifically, more referencing, and I say it loud enough so, Princess outside can hear. Might be worth your while to investigate. I say to this individual, because he struck my interest from another angle. Once you ask your mother about the Oathbinders, you'll understand the importance of this. Once you do, read this. I write something down on a piece of paper, and I hand it to him. Okay. After you're done asking her about us, and you get the story, read this paper. But not before.
He gives you his word.
I get ready to leave. Out of game, the paper says, Derek, would you want to make a deal?
All right, I figured that's what it said. All right, so this is a good stopping point. Sam and I are both very, very tired. This is the first time in a very long time that I have binge played video games ever since getting the Xbox Series X. So the last 2 days we have just been nerding out playing video games. So this is actually a good natural starting point. When we pick up next time, it will be with the audience with the Night Queen.
Okay.
And after that, another day will have passed. That leaves 1 day left in the week before the Dark Messiah gets his eye powers back.
If he hasn't been found yet, which you haven't told us.
I have rolled for the fathers and the grandfathers and nothing. Some key things have been said to you all, and no one has put those things together yet. So I can't help you there because this is an actual time event. The clues are there. A very big one is there. But yes, there is a chance that they could find them, but again, it is a very, very low chance. But in game terms, it is a 5% chance. You were going to say something, Dan?
When everybody hops off call here, could I have 5 minutes of your time?
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, any questions or any last minute things you all wish to do before we call it?
No good.
I am
Not
glad
really.
y'all actually went here and y'all went this route instead of, guns blaring, and because this would have been if y'all would have went in there guns blaring, I don't know how that would have worked out because this is a city and there are some very dangerous warriors here. I mean, their average military, like their soldiers and whatnot, are only 10, but they also have numbers. And then you got some people that are like Draven, extremely gifted. But I am pleasantly surprised how this side adventure has transpired. So, everybody have a good evening. Dan, I'll throw you a call here in a second.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Good night,
Later,
guys.
guys.
Night.
Later.